Experience Chhattisgarh.
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Amid Trump tariff threat, Brazil President Lula dials PM Modi. Both reaffirm commitment to strengthen India-Brazil strategic partnership. Time-tested ties of friendship, says Russia, as India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval meets Russian President Putin in Moscow. Israeli cabinet approves Netanyahu's plans to take complete control of Gaza, while Hamas says the remarks are a coup amid ceasefire talks. France's biggest wildfire in decades will continue to burn for days, but under control. 16,000 hectares affected, an area bigger than Paris. Dozens of homes destroyed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a telephone call from the President of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, on Thursday. During the talks, Prime Minister Modi recalled his visit to Brazil last month, during which the two leaders agreed on a framework to strengthen cooperation in trade, technology, energy, defense, agriculture, health and people-to-people ties. Building on these discussions, the two leaders reiterated their commitment to take India-Brazil strategic partnership to new heights. The two leaders exchanged views on various regional and global issues of mutual interest. PM Modi and Brazilian President also agreed to remain in touch. PM Modi, in a social media post, stated that he had a good conversation with President Lula. PM Modi thanked the Brazilian President for making his visit to Brazil memorable and meaningful. PM further said, and I quote, "We are committed to deepening our strategic partnership, including in trade, energy, tech, defense, health and more. A strong, people-centric partnership between global South nations benefits everyone." Brazilian President also posted on social media about his telephonic conversation with PM Modi. President Lula stated that PM Modi and he discussed the international economic scenario and the imposition of unilateral tariffs, as Brazil and India are so far the two most affected countries. They also reaffirmed the importance of defending multilateralism and the need to address the challenges of the current situation, as well as to explore possibilities for greater integration between the two countries. The Brazilian president also confirmed the holding of a state visit from Brazil to India early next year. As a preparatory step for the visit, the two leaders agreed that Vice President of Brazil will travel to India next October on the occasion of the Trade Monitoring Mechanism meeting. The leaders also exchanged information about the virtual payment platforms of two countries, including PIX and India's UPI. They also talked about the successes of the BRICS summit in Brazil and working together for the transition to the next presidency of the bloc, which will be led by India. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, during his recent visit to Moscow, confirmed that Russian President Vladimir Putin is set to visit India. This came after NSA held talks with President Vladimir Putin on Thursday in Moscow. During the meeting with Putin, two leaders discussed ways to further strengthen the Russia-India Special Privileged Strategic Partnership. The two leaders also emphasized the importance of joint efforts in preparation of the bilateral summit by the end of this year. They also discussed cooperation between Russia and India in multilateral formats and exchanged views on topical issues of international security. Earlier, NSA Ajit Doval also met Secretary of Russia's Security Council Sergey Shoigu. Doval described the India-Russia ties as very special and emphasized the strategic depth of relationship.
We have got a very special relationship, a long relationship, and we highly value our strategic partnership. We have had high-level engagements, and these relationships, these high-level engagements have contributed very substantially. We are very excited and delighted to learn about the visit of His Excellency the President of Russia, President Putin, to India. I think that the dates are almost finalized now. The more important thing is this, that is, these summit meetings have always been the watershed points.
Updates on Gaza crisis now. Israel's political security cabinet approved a plan to take control of Gaza city early on Friday. The approval came hours after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel intended to take military control of the entire strip. Netanyahu's office in a statement said the IDF will prepare to take control of Gaza city while providing humanitarian aid to the civilian population outside the combat zones. The Security Cabinet by majority vote adopted 5 principles for concluding the conflict. These principles include disarming of Hamas, the return of all hostages, living and dead, the demilitarization of Gaza Strip, Israeli security control in the Gaza Strip, and establishment of an alternative civil administration that is neither Hamas nor the Palestinian Authority. As Netanyahu convened his security cabinet on Thursday, the Israeli PM said Tel Aviv planned to take full control of Gaza but did not intend to govern it. Netanyahu told Fox News that Israel wanted to hand over the territory to Arab forces that would govern it. Hamas, meanwhile, termed Netanyahu's remark on Gaza a coup amid the truce talks. Hamas, in a statement on Thursday, said that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's remark that Israel intends to take military control of all of Gaza constituted a coup amid the ceasefire negotiations. The statement further reads that Netanyahu's plans to expand Israel's Gaza offensive show his aim is to sacrifice Israel's own hostages to serve his personal interests. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met Indian Ambassador to Israel J.P. Singh at his Jerusalem office on Thursday. The Prime Minister and the Ambassador discussed the expansion of bilateral cooperation, especially on security and economic issues. Prime Minister Netanyahu then met with senior Indian journalists and answered their questions. The United States on Thursday doubled its bounty on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who faces federal drug trafficking charges and whose most recent election victory was not recognized by Washington, to $50 million. The previous bounty was set in January at $25 million. In 2020, during President Donald Trump's first term in office, Maduro and other high-ranking Venezuelan officials were indicted in federal court in New York on several charges, including participating in a narco-terrorism conspiracy. The Justice Department accused Maduro of leading a cocaine trafficking gang called the Cartel of the Suns that shipped hundreds of tons of narcotics into the United States over 2 decades, earning hundreds of millions of dollars. In a video on social media, Attorney General Bondi said he is one of the largest narco traffickers in the world and a threat to U.S. national security. Bondi said Maduro also had worked with the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua and Mexico's Sinaloa cartel.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself, which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives.
Reacting to increased bounty, Venezuela termed it as pathetic and ridiculous. Venezuelan Foreign Minister said in a statement on Telegram that the pathetic bounty is the most ridiculous smokescreen they have ever seen. And weather updates now. First up from France, where a massive wildfire that has scorched through 16,000 hectares of forest and villages in southern part since Tuesday has now been contained. Firefighters will, however, remain deployed in the area in the coming days to secure the site and prevent flare-ups. Residents affected by the blaze are still barred from returning to their homes without official clearance, as many roads remain closed and potentially hazardous due to uninspected damage and fallen power lines. France's biggest wildfire in nearly 8 decades has destroyed 36 houses, damaged 20 others and forced some 2,000 residents and holidaymakers to flee the area. In Canada, troops and Coast Guard personnel are deployed to its easternmost province to confront wildfires there that have forced hundreds to evacuate. Wildfires across the vast country this year have already burned 7.1 million hectares of land, an area roughly the size of Ireland. With hot, dry conditions expected to persist across several regions and 730 active fires burning, the damage this year is almost certain to pass the toll from 2 decades ago. In recent years, Canada has experienced warming at least twice as fast as the rest of the globe. While in California, firefighting aircraft were seen flying over fast-moving brush fire in Ventura County. The fire has burned an estimated 1,051 acres and remains 0% contained. Evacuation orders have been issued for parts of Los Angeles County, including the Valverde area and Oak Canyon. The areas near Hasley and Romero are also under evacuation warnings. China is on high alert as a new round of torrential rains triggers flooding in central Henan province, disrupting transport and power in southern regions, while northern provinces prepare for imminent heavy downpours expected to exceed 200 mm, prompting nationwide emergency response measures. The sudden deluge left urban districts severely waterlogged, suspending some subway services. While in Japan, weather agency has issued a special heavy rain alert for the southern region of Kagoshima on Friday, warning lives are at risk. The deluge follows a period of severe heat in many parts with a national record temperature of 41.8 degrees Celsius. Authorities have urged residents to evacuate without waiting for orders from municipalities. Meanwhile, domestic flights at Kagoshima airport were cancelled due to rain. Moving on, US President Donald Trump will host the leaders of Azerbaijan and Armenia for an official peace signing ceremony on Friday. Trump in a social media post said that the Armenian Prime Minister and Azerbaijan President will attend a peace signing ceremony at the White House. The US President said that Washington would also sign bilateral deals with both countries to pursue economic opportunities together. One major agreement was already inked in Washington on Thursday when Azerbaijan President and Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff were present for a memorandum of cooperation signed between ExxonMobil and Azerbaijan's state energy company SOCAR. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami continue to review relief and rescue operations in Kir Ganga River area of Uttarkashi district. US President to nominate Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Stephen Miran to serve as Federal Reserve Governor. And OpenAI launched its GPT-5 artificial intelligence model.
Launch a bombing campaign against Iran. The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
That's exactly what save your country.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DDN.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Updates on Uttarakhand flash floods now. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami continue to review relief and rescue operations in the Kheer Ganga River area of Uttarkashi district. Under the guidance of Prime Minister Modi, full cooperation is being received from the central government. During this, officials were given necessary instructions regarding the restoration of roads, communication and electricity as well as food supply. With the help of heli services, Mi-17 and Chinook helicopters, a rescue operation is being carried out at a war footing to bring people back safely. He informed that the government is making every effort to evacuate all affected people safely and restore normal public life at the earliest. Notably, secured army communication on satellite and radio relay provided immediately in support of ongoing rescue operations. Stranded civilians spoke to their families through army communication network and satellite internet calls. Additionally, Indian Army is laying lines to restore communication. Braving harsh weather and rugged terrain, Indian Army teams are tirelessly engaged in restoring connectivity, evacuating residents and tourists while providing medical support and delivering essential aid. Further efforts are underway to restore road access severely disrupted at Bartwari, Linchigad, near Harsil, Gangrani and Dharali. Search and rescue dogs are also being used to locate missing persons. Over 70 civilians have been rescued so far, while critically injured people are being airlifted to Dehradun and AIIMS Rishikesh. Army is also providing medical aid and food to around 200 stranded tourists at Gangotri. Presence of senior military commanders on ground has significantly bolstered morale of the troops and the stranded alike. Met Department has warned of heavy rainfall at isolated places in Uttarkashi, Chamoli Teri, Dehradun, Pauri, Bageshwar, Pithoragarh, Udham Singh Nagar, Champawat and Nainital districts for today. While thunderstorm accompanied with lightning or intense to very intense spell of rain is likely today at isolated places in all districts of the hail state. Raksha Bandhan will be celebrated on Saturday all over the world. It is considered an important festival symbolizing the love, affection and trust between brothers and sisters. On this festival, sisters tie a Raki on their brothers' wrists and pray for their long life. Raksha Bandhan celebrates the bond of love between siblings. In return, brothers vow to protect their sisters even at the cost of their own lives. According to the Hindu calendar, the festival takes place on the full moon day of the month of Shravan. The month of Shravan ends and the month of Bhadrapad begins with Raksha Bandhan. In Gujarat's Rajkot, school children have prepared 45 feet long Raki with the help of different dishes and forks and various grains for birds. These dishes will be donated to the children of different Anganwadis of Rajkot city. Grains will be offered to the birds. Students of Sukma from Naxal area prepared Raki for the armed forces. Together, they are preparing Raki for young brothers posted on the border of the country who cannot go to their homes on Raksha Bandhan. While in national capital, Chief Minister Rekha Gupta met a self-help group in a bid to promote handmade products. Sisters of Shadra district prepared a gift pack containing Raki, roli and rice. They also prepared sweets which contain sattu. With Ganesh Chaturthi just weeks away, Mumbai is witnessing a wave of green initiatives as citizens come together to ensure this year's celebration are more eco-friendly than ever before. In a city known for its grand and elaborate Ganesh festivities, environmental awareness is taking center stage. From using clay idols and natural dyes to promoting artificial immersion tanks, Mumbai is embracing sustainability while honoring tradition. Decorations made from recycled paper, bamboo and fabric are becoming increasingly popular. OpenAI launched on Thursday its GPT-5 artificial intelligence model, the highly anticipated latest installment of a technology that has helped transform global business and culture. OpenAI in a briefing said OpenAI's GPT models are the AI technology that powers the popular ChatGPT chatbot, and GPT-5 will be available to all 700 million ChatGPT users. The AI industry is at a pivotal moment with top developers like Alphabet, Meta, Amazon and Microsoft heavily investing in data centers, totaling nearly $400 billion in capital expenditures this fiscal year. The surge in spending is driven by the growing demand for AI solutions and the potential for substantial returns on investment. Key players are betting big on AI infrastructure, expecting significant growth and returns as the technology continues to advance and become more integral to various industries. US President Donald Trump on Thursday said he will nominate Council of Economic Advisers Chairman Stephen Miran to serve as a Federal Reserve Governor. Miran would fill the position opened by Fed Governor Adriana Kugler's surprise resignation announced last week as she returns to her tenured professorship at Georgetown University. The term expires January 31, 2026 and is subject to approval by the Senate. Miran has advocated for a far-reaching overhaul of Fed governance that would include shortening board member terms, putting them under the clear control of the president. Trump has unsuccessfully pushed the Fed to cut rates. Miran, if confirmed by the Senate, would have one of 12 votes on monetary policy at the Fed, which voted 9-2 last month to keep rates steady. On to sports news now. The national golf selection trial for the participation of Indian team in the Tokyo Deaflympics 2025 is being conducted at Sports Center in Greater Noida. The 2025 Summer Deaflympics is an international multi-sport event that is scheduled to be held in Tokyo from 15th November to 26th of November. This will be the first time in the competition's history where Japan will be hosting the Deaflympics. The shooting selection trials for Deaflympics will be conducted from the 11th August to 16th of August 2025. Meanwhile, the final for the golf event will take place on Saturday. Giant panda twins King Hua and King Lu celebrated their 4th birthday at a wildlife park in Chongqing with special cakes made of bamboo prepared by the zookeepers. The twin panda sisters were greeted with applause and cheers from visitors and staff. I hope you enjoyed that visual. It's indeed a visual delight. And that's it for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Prasar Bharati from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.